What's going on, people? This is Cypher. If you don't know me, I make music and I listen to music so you don't have to. And while you're here, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So hit that bell for notifications. You can get more great videos like this, right? Cool. So here's what we're here to talk about, right? We're here to talk about how Drake could still possibly win this Kendrick Lamar feud. Now, for those who have given up on Drake and like, come on, is this over? Look, it's not over, okay? It's clearly not over because we've had another piece laid out in this chess game. We got another move made in this chess game. Now Kendrick Lamar just dropped an album. Now here's when things get interesting because the feud may have died off over the year, but the war is not over. And here's the problem. See, Kendrick Lamar just dropped an album, and this is something we've been waiting for quite a while, especially this year with the whole buzz between him and Drake. And the fact that it happened the way it did, instantaneously, spontaneously, another instantaneous, spontaneous type words, now the cards are laid out on the table. So now we see Kendrick's hand, and guess who else sees Kendrick's hand? Drake. Now, if you don't know, Drake has been getting beat up by Kendrick all year when it comes to songs, subliminals, messages, and all types of things. Now, Drake has tried to respond by saying and dissing Kendrick back, also dropping music, collaborating with newer artists, popular artists, and also just showing some free-ish footage of stuff. I don't know. But the problem is it's not working, and it hasn't been working. So a lot of people feel like Kendrick Lamar has beaten Drake. Here is the problem. Now Drake, although has lost his battle to Kendrick Lamar over the year, is still Drake. He's the biggest artist in the world. He is bigger than Kendrick, at least, and that's what we can say, and there's no doubt about that. The fact that he is bigger than Kendrick and he still lost, and even after all that, numbers wise, is still bigger, lets you know that although Drake has lost his fight, he has not lost the war and can't lose the war because the gap between himself and Kendrick Lamar was so large that there really is no beating him that way. Now, if this was The Weeknd or Bruno Mars, that'd be different. And here's the problem is neither one of them rap, so it wouldn't be fair. They would lose that battle because they're not rappers. But when you got Kendrick Lamar, the only person viable and liable enough to actually mess with Drake's aura, beating Drake, it makes a difference. It has a whole continental shift when it comes to this thing. And the thing is, since this album dropped with Kendrick, now we have to have another whole scale made. Here's the problem with Drake. Drake did not drop in October, which was his birthday month and also his label month. It's October's very own, it's OVO. How could you not drop, right? But he didn't. And now Kendrick Lamar is dropping an album that people have been waiting for, and you would think that that would bury the thing, but it didn't. Because although Kendrick dropped this album, the main course and the main layout can basically say in agreement that the album was okay. It wasn't brilliant, it wasn't the best thing ever, but it was okay. It wasn't trash, it wasn't garbage, but it was okay. It was not mediocre, but it was a little bit primitive. And that's the problem, because although Drake is losing this battle, Kendrick Lamar just put out his final chess piece, and now the ball is back in Drake's corner. Now, we didn't think nobody else would drop this year, not Drake, Kendrick for sure, but now Kendrick has dropped, so a lot of people are saying, Drake, you have to drop now. If you didn't drop before, now you really gotta drop, because the boy just dropped an album going into next year for his big Super Bowl performance. Now, the best thing Drake can do right now, since this Kendrick Lamar album was okay, is to drop pure heat. But you can't drop a complete diss album against Kendrick. You have to do what Kendrick did and not diss you at all. You have to not diss Kendrick at all. You have to make an album that's so good that people are going to look at the whole thing like, oh, yeah, he got the best of them in the summer. But when it comes to this album music stuff, Drake is still king. Because if Drake wins this thing, everything goes back to normal. Drake was the #1 in the world. He's been #1 in the world for a long time. And the only one to challenge him is Kendrick, that dark horse Kendrick. If Kendrick beats Drake even when it comes to an album and stuff like all that, then that means Kendrick is officially king. People thought he was king now. He's technically in there. He's in the talks. But until you get the numbers up, you're not technically king. You're the most popular kid on the playground, but you don't have the highest grade. You see what I'm saying? So if he beats Drake numbers wise with a Drake release, then that's when you know that it's officially over. And that's when Drake has to completely make his next move strategic, because if he does the wrong thing, it can either bury his career or resurge it. So you have to drop a fire album. It can't be bad. If it's bad, then you're done. There's no more going back and forth. There is no discussion about it. There is no debate. No, Kendrick would be number one. But if you drop an album that's that good, without dissing Kendrick, if you drop an album that's that good, people are going to go back to you and say, oh, maybe it was a flop. Because even though Kendrick did what he did, he still managed to maintain a Zen type vibe to where people are like, oh, he definitely cooked Drake, but he's not like vengeful. And that's his MO. But here's also the sneaky part in Kendrick's strategy, because although Kendrick didn't diss Drake, he kind of did, because he put the Heart Part 6 on his album, which was the same diss title that Drake did for his diss against Kendrick. So now when people Google the Heart Part 6, guess which one's gonna pop up first? Kendrick. And guess what's gonna pop up next? Drake. And guess what people are gonna be reminded of every time they click the Heart Part 6 by Drake? Just how trash it was to a lot of people. When Drake dropped the Heart Part 6, a lot of people were very disappointed because they felt like this is the final nail in the coffin. This? No, my boy, this is not going to cut it. So that's going to be the last thing people hear and see from Drake about Kendrick. So without that, they're going to be like, I want to hear some real music, and click Kendrick's The Heart Part 6. And they'll go back to his album, which is currently out now, and sell more albums and bury Drake. It's very strategic. A lot of people don't see it, but Kendrick is the king of subliminals. He doesn't have to barely diss you. He cannot diss you at all. It's just the substance within it that allows people to see what happens. Remember what happened earlier this year? Certified Lover Boy, Certified. That was in Not Like Us, right? And guess what? That's one of the most searched for songs when it comes to lyrics in history. Not Like Us, right? Okay, let's put the puzzle together. So he says Certified Lover Boy, Certified P-word. Certified Lover Boy is the name of Drake's album, Certified Lover Boy. So whenever people Google Certified Lover Boy, they see Kendrick's Not Like Us, the biggest song of the year, and it goes straight to that algorithm, and it pumps more views, and it gets Kendrick out there more. And every time people listen to Drake and say, I want to listen to Certified Lover Boy, guess who pops up instead? Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. So it's like he's the biggest troll without actually trolling. And that's the crazy part. That's how you win a war. You get inside the person's head, you get inside their pockets, and you infiltrate. And that's what Kendrick has done all year. So this album may just be the final nail in the coffin for the war. We passed the battle. Kendrick won the battle. Now we have to see where the war goes. And if Drake cannot finish the war, then it's over. But like I said, Drake still has a chance to do that. All he has to do is drop Album of the Year. Trust me, we haven't had too much competition this year. We've had some decent shots. We had some good albums, but nothing that you can't really just manage, Drake. You know, you gotta bring back Take Care. You gotta bring back Nothing Was the Same. You have to bring back that vibe. For some people, even Thank Me Later. You have to bring back that, because right now it's Kendrick in the driver's seat, and the best thing for you going is that Kendrick Lamar album was okay at best. Didn't have high replay value. But you are known for high replay value. You have hits, Drake. You can drop songs and it goes viral and it just pumps out on the radio every day, all day long, back to back, replay after replay. So you have to use that as your advantage. You rap, you sing, you have all these resources. Use it to drop the Album of the Year. Is it too late? It's on the cusp. Once you get to December, nobody really cares. I'm just being honest with you. Do you remember that Meek Mill and Rick Ross album that dropped last year in December? I know, nobody does. Now, correct me, it may have dropped a little earlier, but still, nobody remembers that album, because when you're in the fourth quarter of the year, October, November, December, those are the holiday months. And nobody's studying the new album, they studying the holidays. So if Drake was to drop some in December, you are challenging Kendrick Lamar, you are challenging the music industry, and now you're also challenging Christmas. Because if you're not doing Christmas songs, nobody cares in December. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just letting you know. So Drake, this is your chance. you're still in a corner because you have to, it's do or die at this point. If you don't respond, that means Kendrick Lamar has won the war and he has closed out 2024, which means that gives you the worst year in your career. Now, the only way to salvage that is to do something even bigger for the Super Bowl. And when I mean that, I mean you have to have such a strategy that it makes Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance obsolete. It has to be so profound that people are either going to not care about the performance or it's going to mess with the performance's effective aura in some way. Either way, you have to pick your poison, Drake. Either drop album of the year to best Kendrick and win this thing, or wait and do something, maybe album, right before the Super Bowl to where people are like, oh, yeah, that's okay. But did you hear that Drake though? You got to do that. Otherwise it's over. But you still have a chance. I haven't counted Drake out. A lot of people count Drake out. I haven't counted Drake out. Drake still has a chance. All he has to do is be the best version of himself. And I'm telling you, it will work out. Trust me. Trust me. I'm not picking sides. I'm not on Drake or Team Kendrick. I'm not on nobody's side. But I am a fan of hip hop first. And I got to say, this was a great thing for the culture. But we have to move on. We have to move forward. And we have to have new things happen, refreshing things. And somebody has to win this thing. Because it's been going on for so long. It came to a head this year. And now it's time to finish out strong. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what side you on. If you are on the side, Team Kendrick, Team Drake, either way, let me know. Y'all have a good day. Have a good night. Make sure y'all be good, do right, and let's look forward to the top 25 albums of the year starting December 1st. I can't wait for that. Y'all stick around and see, subscribe, and you'll see every video every day for 25 days. Not 25 days of Christmas, but 25 days of albums. 25 albums of the year. What's not to love about that? I'll see y'all then. Y'all make sure y'all be careful when I see y'all and subscribe. All right, y'all. Peace.